7. We're inching closer to 10.
Inching closer to 10. The big lead up to the big. Apparently, according to our Tumblr community, the big lead up to the big story.
Well, this is going to be another step in a long staircase of you and I letting many people down.
Yeah, I mean, I've been letting people down since I was born.
Old hands at this.
Truly, I absolutely let people down the second I was born, because I was born, and I did when I came out of my mother.
In a crossfire.
I was born in a crossfire hurricane. No, I was born in Glens Falls Hospital, and when I popped out, I didn't cry or anything. And I gave, of course, my father and my mother and the doctors, I gave them all pause because I thought I was stillborn. And
you were already, like, annoyed and aggravated.
Yeah.
You were already over it.
I was already over it. And I was already a fucking prankster ball buster. I was like, just kidding, not stillborn. And then they hung me upside down and slapped my ass. Which is foretells my sexual future.
That was easy. An easy one.
That was an easy one. So anyway,
let's not go for the low-hanging fruit here.
Hey, if I didn't go for the low-hanging fruit, I wouldn't have any fruit at all. So.
I wonder where we'd be if we strive to greater things.
You know, I think that I would be driving a sports car. I think I would live in a upper middle class neighborhood. I'd have a job that I didn't hate, but I didn't love. And I would have never played music. And I would have never met any of you.
That makes perfect sense.
That's what would have happened.
Yesterday, I came within a few feet of getting run over by a sports car.
An Audi A8.
And
it
was an Audi. And I seriously considered for 1 second just leaping in front of it. And, you know, I mean, I'd have a broken hip. I'd be laying around playing, you know, fucking King's Quest for a couple weeks. But a lot of zeros on that on that settlement check.
Is King's Quest really a game?
King's Quest? There was many King's Quest. I think there was... You know, I opened a can of worms here because I'm going to say there was 6, but some fucking asshole's going to come at me and be like, there were 9.
Actually, dude,
there were 9, you posed.
There were 9 individual quests for King's Quest. So, it's not as good of a game as Unreal Tournament, so...
I get old school and you guys
I spent a lot of years where I should have been touching boobs playing King's Quest.
Justin says that we should play the game Zork. I've never heard that game before. I know about Sporks.
Yeah, that sounds deep.
Or Snorks. Remember the Snorks?
I do remember the Snorks.
We're gonna get old school.
Zork was like a Commodore 64 game where you just were like, go east. You'd have to type in and they would tell you stuff.
Yeah, King's Quest was pretty similar to that.
When you play Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and you say, do you want maximum verbosity? And you always say yes.
It's the same sort of game. Zork was the same.
Text-based, massively multiplayer online role-playing game.
No, it wasn't.
King's Quest was like, go east, walk forward, look at witch, and then like the witch sees you, haha, like inside fucking nerd joke from 1983.
This sounds great.
It was tremendous. It was really good.
You know, not very often. I'm glad that I was born when I was born because I missed all of that shit.
You were just outside of it.
Just outside the realm of awful computer games.
What about Space Quest? Did you catch Space Quest at all?
It was terrible.
Space Quest I've never played.
Okay, Space Quest, very similar to King's Quest. There was also the less popular Police Quest, which I thought was dope, but nobody else did, apparently.
Look, my parents were my mother especially was a hippie. She didn't buy me G.I. Joes until I could make money to buy my own, so I ended up buying G.I. Joes when I was like 13 and I had a fucking paper route just because I never had them before.
Shit, I could finally afford Duke.
I could finally afford Duke or Flint or the big $100. It was really a bad move on my parents' part because I started spending all my money on fucking G.I. Joes. But when I was way too old to have G.I. Joes, I bought the hovercraft and shit. It was really awesome.
Oh man. When I was a kid, they had all those little fucking toys, that little stupid saw blade they could ride in and like climb up walls and shit. But there was always the one kid on my block who had like the straight up F-15 G.I. Joe fighter. It was like the size of my torso. It was fucking ridiculous.
That's a great story. When I was a child, and the street that ran behind my parents' house was Mason Street. And there was this kid named Ryan Mershon who had, hope I'm not outing anybody here. I'm sure Ryan Mershon fucking working at a tree service somewhere in
Ryan
Glens
Mershon
Falls.
almost hit me with his Audi yesterday.
Yeah, Ryan Mershon, in a weird twist, is an investment banker in New York City and almost hit Andrew with his Audi. No, he guaranteed works at the mill in Glens Falls or works for a fucking tree removal service or some shit. But he had the F-15, G.I. Joe F-15, and me and this kid John Warner were like fake tough, but we knew who we could pick on because we weren't very tough, but we were tougher than this kid. And he took his F-15 and threw it across the street and crashed into his across the street neighbor's foundation and broke into a million fucking pieces. I was maybe like 8 or 9 when that happened. We used to have bike races and stuff. And
Kids that have those toys never want to play with them. That's what happened when I was a kid. Like, somebody had like the $6 Million Man who had like the weird like telescope eye.
And never wanted to play with it.
Ever would let us like play with it.
Like whose fucking little kid dick do I have to suck to play with the fucking Thundercats lair? You know, it's like, come on.
I think we have the title of the next podcast, actually. Whose little kid's dick do I have to suck?
Yeah.
To play with the. Anyways, we're digressing a lot, and we just alienated every person listening to this podcast who isn't 35. So.
All that work we did over the past 6 weeks undone in 9 minutes and 50. Actually, not even, because I was rolling before this. That's like 4 minutes.
Tumblr unfriend unfollowing. It's a heavy, weird deal.
I just realized Tumblr is based around the corner from my job.
Really? You should go.
Yeah, because when we get people following us, I get emails to my phone, and it's always like, John Chance is now following you, and then like some smiley face, and then it's the address of Tumblr, which if I stood outside my job and threw a stone, I would hit Tumblr's office.
You should ask them why we don't get more asks, bro.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go over there tomorrow. Well, tomorrow's Saturday. I'm going to go over there on Monday and ask the hard questions.
Why don't we get more asks? Where are I mean, I'm learning all of this because I've been like a social hermit, and it's a lot of Tumblr things I'm just getting used to, and I thought I was pretty hip, but this is like all new and interesting. It seems like a depository for the cooler aspects of life, like posting Beavis and Butthead pictures and like embracing Married with Children, and like very much a 90s renaissance now, which I appreciate to a point. Speaking of 90s...
It goes deeper than that. There, you can get in some real shitty 90s renaissance on Tumblr.
The problem is I was checking out our Tumblr at work, and I was like, show flyer, picture of an amp. Oh, a pierced tit. Really big on the screen. So that was good, and I think my coworker Shelly saw it, and now she thinks I look at pierced tits at work, which is amazing.
Which isn't untrue. I mean, she just knows.
No. I mean, I don't beat off at work or anything, but if I, sometimes I'm walking back from lunch, or I just finished cooking my brown rice at work because I'm on that tip, and I was like, man, I really need to look at a pierced tit right now. In between,
make this salad complete.
Yeah, in between grading funding applications and having meetings with clients and all this other stuff I do, I look at a pierced tit and I rub the head of my penis through my khakis.
That's the way it works. This is how I achieve nirvana. I sit quietly for 25 to 30 minutes and I look at a pierced tit and I don't speak.
Well, Nirvana just reminded me of Seattle, which reminded me of a couple stories, and it also reminded me that the Seattle Seahawks fucking blew it and lost.
Oh my god, I was in a Starbucks in Burlington, Vermont, and I didn't. Nobody in Burlington, Vermont is playing a Seahawks game because it's Vermont. I think they watched Bob Ross all day. I don't know. It was just like really soft dude town.
It's like PBS on every station.
Yeah. So I'm like refreshing ESPN, like fucking like the GameCast, trying to get it. The way it looked was when the Seahawks came up for the 2 seconds that they were ahead. It looked on my screen like the game was over, so I spiked my phone. I started doing like victory dances in the fucking Starbucks. Texting you. Then I sneeze and I look up and it's over.
Well, and at that very moment, I was in this very room with the television on and Justin next to me. It was really stressful game. I had my Marshawn Lynch jersey on, and I thought we won with 30 seconds left, and then fucking KJ Wright fucking dogs it up the middle. Can't make fucking high school coverage on Tony Gonzalez, who's like only the most celebrated fucking tight end in the league.
Future Hall of Famer.
Future Hall of Famer, fucking Tony Gonzalez, whatever. And he throws it right to him, and they get in field goal range. And I said the word cunt fucker. That's what I said. I said cunt fucker. And, because I was going to run out in the street. I was all getting ready because I was going to run out in the street and do some cute shit. Like, yeah, fucking Seahawks. Pointing at cars because Justin lives on a busy street. I'd be like pointing at cars, giving them the double fucking guns and shit. But instead I was in a haze of sorrow as we watched the next fucking shitty game coming up.
For like a quarter and a half.
It's like not only that, but then we have to watch a cocksucking Patriots game. And
well, it's funny because the night before we were in Boston, and I don't want to be in Boston, and certainly don't want to go to a sports bar in Boston. But we were playing a show at the Democracy Center, as we spoke about last week.
No, you were not.
And,
really?
We were playing a show at a place called the Democracy Center.
Did they have an info shop?
And even though it was actually a lot of fun, everyone was really nice. It was not like the awful fucking like Tumblr fucking horse shit that I expected it would be.
Okay.
I still would prefer to be watching a football game to be at a hardcore show. So I swallowed my pride and I went to the bar next door. And I just happened to walk in at the point where Joe Flacco made that completion that's going to be probably the completion of his career.
Oh, the one that Torrey Smith? Yeah.
Absolutely out of control. And the Ravens are sort of my backup team when the Giants fucking lick shit like they did this year. So
Justin loves the Ravens, by the way.
Yeah, there you go. So that was really exciting. I got really pumped. And then the next day I'm like, we did it again. The fucking Seahawks did it now. Like fucking I'm killing 30 seconds all over and nope.
Super annoying week for football. On
the football theme, we can transition like smoothly to the fake internet girlfriend.
Oh yeah, well,
you're gonna have to walk me through this because I don't know. Like, I tried to read the CNN article about it, and it was written by somebody who I swear to God has attention deficit disorder because it didn't make any sense to me, and I gave up halfway through. So you're gonna have to give me the the idea of what's going on.
I mean, I can give you the embryonic story. Like, there's a middle linebacker from the Notre Dame football team named Monty Teo, who's Samoan, I think, or Hawaiian. I don't know. He's not. He's not
does
white.
he have his face tattooed?
Okay, guys. He's an ethnic dude. He is Mormon. Very straight laced. Probably hasn't been laid yet because he went to fucking school in Utah. He's a real Mormon.
Because he's a Mormon Samoan, like a real small subset of
He's a Mormon Samoan, yeah. So he's a Mormon moron, and he probably hasn't touched a piece of pussy in his life or even jerked off or anything. So he gets caught up in like a internet romance with this girl that he met on Twitter. Here's where I get foggy because I also check out because this story just did the internet all wrong, and I have a lot of experience with internet relationships. And he did it all wrong. He got hoaxed out, but not for money, just for like somebody who was legitimately just wanting to be mean to him, I think. Wow. And
somebody was pulling a waka waka.
Exactly. And I don't know, Justin. Like, this woman faked her own death, and he never actually met her. Only talked to her. Only talked to her on the phone, quote unquote. Got pictures of her even when she was dying in the hospital. He would only get like texted photos of her in the hospital, which I don't know how they pulled that off.
No, someone that uses like Skype, to talk to his family, managed to not Skype his girlfriend ever.
No, never. Yeah. No. But you know that there was nothing sexual going on.
No.
Because they didn't have Skype sex, they didn't send dirty sexts. They didn't send. They didn't send dirty sex. They didn't send dirty pictures. They didn't send anything. But the best thing that this guy can do is just come clean and be like, "Yeah, well, I'm like really naive. I'm like not very smart because I play defense, and I should probably just, it's cool.
Linebacker.
I'm a linebacker, and I literally headbutt people for a living. So."
I feel like ever since Tim Tebow, all these college dudes, you gave everyone a pass to be like a fucking soft weirdo.
Oh, it's true. Definitely.
So, now everyone's finding fucking, like, every fullback's finding Allah, everyone's fucking, like, sustaining head injuries and fucking seeing Jesus. It's, yeah.
I love it. I love the story. I hope he... But the cool thing is that he actually is fucking up and not saying anything about anything, so everybody's already formed their own opinion. I heard the local news guy, the local sports show that I prank call relentlessly every day on my way home. It was great. Today I called and said that they were talking about Lance Armstrong, and I said, and then he made a joke about Lance Armstrong only having one testicle. So I called the sports show as this is Jeff in Albany. I was like, hey, this is Jeff in Albany. I just want to say I'm a testicular cancer survivor from 2007, and I find it very. I was like I find it very insulting that you make that joke. And then they spent like the next 10 minutes, literally, as I'm just driving, my fault, spending the next 10 minutes of their show like backtracking and apologizing, creating chaos for this poor son of a bitch who like probably didn't want to move to Albany, didn't want to work in Albany.
And got run out of Austin.
Got run out of Phoenix, Arizona, actually. He got fired from Fox Sports Radio. He used to be a national guy. And now it's Bruce Jacobs. Game on with Bruce Jacobs.
Not even Buffalo.
Not even Buffalo.
Not even sports. Not even a pro sports brand.
Not even a pro sports. Yeah, you're calling River Rats games, dude. Congratulations. I don't know, man. I think Monteteo. I mean, that's the thing. He's really bad at the internet. He has no internet game, I guess. No one would fall for that shit. He's like, we used to fall asleep on the phone with one another.
Yeah, that sounds like horse shit to me, man. This is me forming an opinion, I guess. But yeah, that sounds like it. I mean, it's 2013 now, right? It's 13. Is anybody that naive? Because yes. I mean, I'm 33 years old. I should be falling for stupid internet shit left and right. I mean, I recognize maybe I'm a little quicker on the uptake having grown up with King's Quest, but I mean, what? Like that story sounds like some horse shit to me.
Well, not only that, but he didn't have any side action because when you have an internet girlfriend, you also some people tend to have like a local.
Well, no, that's Notre Dame's trying to like spin that now and say that he was getting some.
Local
somebody
pussy?
Ass on the side. Like,
oh, is that right?
Oh, okay.
There's a couple guys
for once, a college sports
fucking
fucking franchise tries to give somebody sex as opposed to claiming it never happened.
Never mind. The party line now is that Notre Dame said, hey, Monteteo gets plenty of fucking cuddy around here, motherfucker.
Yeah. A lot of strange.
A lot of strange were running in and out of his dorm room, so don't even fucking worry about Leilani Lalani or whatever her name was. Because that shit don't matter. When he goes to the fucking NFL and becomes a millionaire, you all can line up and suck his dick.
Yeah.
But
the lesson from all this is that anyone on the internet can be some dude named Mark.
That's true.
I feel like everyone on the internet is some dude named Mark. Like I just walk into any situation assuming that.
Yeah. Like, anybody on the internet could be some dude named Mark. So all you fucking lonely hardcore dudes out in Montana, fucking trying to get some girl off the B9 board, some dude named Mark.
It's Mark.
And you're a Mark.
Remember that, Mark.
It's Mark. He works overnight answering telephones for Verizon.
Yes, exactly. And then he's fucking talking to you on his fake Facebook profile. Some girl named fucking Ashley.
Yeah.
Hey, where have you been?
Beth. Yeah. Hey, what are you doing? LOL. Is this real life? Fucking awesome. I recently had the woman who I dated in Seattle, and was caused a lot of mess in my life. Recently, reached out to me on Facebook.
Oh shit! Which one?
The one from Seattle, man. The one.
No
the tour
shit!
Girl.
Did she hear this thing?
Nah, maybe. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, she reached out to me and re-added me on Facebook and said she was thinking about me. And I was like, okay.
Wow.
I was like, cool story. Awesome. You're still like real weird. But she's got like this Hitler Youth thing going on now, which I think is interesting. She changed up her look a little bit, so that's cool. But
might hate minorities now.
She might hate minorities now. That's cool.
All right,
that's fine. No problem.
A lot can happen in what's been 2 years since.
It's been 2 years since Seattle, since the rise and fall, since the battle for Seattle.
All right.
The battle for Seattle. Been 2 years, and I think time heals all wounds for sure. I truly don't care. It was wisdom. I like to shake her hand and say thank you for showing me my depths.
Thank you for coming on our live podcast.
Thank you for coming on our live podcast, which I certainly will try to do. No question.
Please, God.
For episode 10, we're gonna hit it out of the park. We're actually gonna get some. We're gonna get the girl on the fucking line. The girl that I fucking left the fucking tour for in my bipolar haze. Because that I know, right? We always tease that fucking episode.
Oh, please, God, let this happen.
I am gonna ask her because I have zero to lose and I don't care at all. It's gonna be really good. You know what? Funny enough, there was a girl that I briefly dated who I said, hey, you know. I was talking to her online, of course, and I said, hey, you know, just to give you a heads up, because this is how nice I am, even though I mean, come on, man, I'm nice. He laughs when I say that. This is how, okay, I was talking to her, I'm like, look, because her and I had a similar situation where, you know, I went to visit her, and shit got weird because she didn't really like me, but she thought she did, that kind of thing.
Awesome.
Yeah, it always happens. And, so I was like, hey, you know, I'll probably bring it up on the podcast at some point because she's already told me that she listens to the podcast. And she, like, caught a fucking case about it. She's like, oh.
No shit.
Yeah, it was, like, weird. She's like, I don't know if I can, you know, I guess. And then we got into this, like, then we had to, like, talk about what happened again. And I was like, oh. I was like, oh. I was like, you know, you told me to leave you alone, so I left you alone. It's like, I asked you, then, like, the best part was I texted her to say, how was your Thanksgiving? And she's like, she texted me back, you really need to leave me alone. Which is awesome. Which is so nice and fucking reasonable. Swear to God, it happened. I guess I just told the story anyway.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yep. Whoops.
I don't give a fuck.
But what is she going to apply for a job in the future?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I was listening to a podcast and I get a weird sense about you.
You know what? That's that shit you can't hide, son. That's the shit you can't hide. You know, you're mean when you're mean like that. But you know, on the other end, though, I was kind of an unhinged weirdo about it. I was very clingy and weird, and I wanted to talk to her on the phone every night. So maybe it's my fault. I don't know. Probably
50-50?
It's a 50. No, it's like a 60-40, I think.
It's a push, all right.
It's a push. I mean, you know, and it was. I was in love. It wasn't even in lust because we never did it or really did anything. So I was like, you know, I thought she was cool, and then you know, that didn't work out. So, but
interesting time for you.
And I inadvertently. And the saddest thing, this is why all of my stories like this are always like fucking daggers, because she had professed that she had a ongoing crush on me for like 5 years before I, by coincidence, started kicking game to her on the internet. She's like, oh, when I realized it was you, I got all crazy because I've had a crush on you for like 5 fucking years.
Where did she know you from 5 years ago?
She knew me from being in my fucking Burning Bridges fucking hardcore band.
Shit.
When I sang fucking I will not be denied and all those fucking bad hardcore lyrics, which whatever. And look it up. Burning Bridges, Albany Hardcore. That is my first real deal band, man. Andrew's got fucking Police Line and The Jury.
We don't talk about that on here.
Oh, sorry, dude. We can erase it. Edit it for time.
I was thinking about that a few days ago. We were talking about it this weekend, where I gave friend of the room Chris Lawrence free reign to put out the Police Line discography, and that was years and years ago. It is as of yet to surface.
I'm putting it out. I'm going to do it.
You're going to do it? All right.
I'm going to give Chris Lawrence $50.
Chris Lawrence's obsession with putting out the Police Line discography.
He does. When I worked with him, he talked about it all the time, man. He's like,
that's his white whale.
He's like, I'm just waiting to wait for the Police Line discography to drop. That shit's going to be fucking great. Yeah, I'm going to play the fucking alternate versions of Ya Basta and shit like that, man. Come on, man. Come on, Andrew. You got your shit now, man, but you wrote a song called Ya Basta. So whatever.
We've got there. I mean, I think he's got them now. We spent a lot. Well, what seemed like a lot of money at the time was, in retrospect, probably like $400. But we spent a lot of money recording with these two guys. I don't know where the fuck we found these guys. I feel like I just like opened up a phone book and fucking like put a hand over my eyes and just went to the first place I pointed at. These two redneck fucking yahoos in like Round Lake, middle of nowhere. Man, there is a session that is absolutely atrocious on those reels. It is got to be one of the worst things I have ever put to tape in my life. It's bad. There's a Creedence Clearwater Revival cover in there somewhere.
Oh, that's good. When you guys went through your Creedence phase, that was like, remember that time we played that show at ABC No Rio, and which that girl who I just talked about was actually at that show.
Oh, no shit. All right.
Yeah, and we played that show at ABC No Rio, and it was like a fucking lame crowd, and I walked over, and I found it was an audio cable hanging out of the PA, but nobody had thought to put any music on, so I put on my iPod with like 40 Creedence songs, and all of a sudden the place had a fucking good time. But there was it was true, it was great. Creedence is good party music. If you're ever gonna have a party, just put some Creedence on. But there was a couple fucking runny nose fucking crust punks who were all bent out of fucking shape about it.
What is my fucking dad here?
Yeah, exactly. Precisely. Probably what they said. What is my fucking dad?
Put on Dystopia. What are you doing?
Right, exactly. You know, don't remember, kids. Don't ever be too hardcore. All right, you can listen to anything you want, honestly. But that was cool. And then we played Neil Young's Zuma. Yeah. That's that shit, man. We gotta. If we ever, if we don't put out a discography of old stuff, we should. Just put like how the Pet Shop Boys released like their CD of their favorite songs. We should do the same.
Yeah.
Like Overnight Drive mix. Like we should make a SoundCloud for Overnight Drive and just.
That's a great idea. We're going to get on that shit.
And I made a techno mix on. I'm really into moving on quickly. Justin and I have started listening to Detroit techno. Why? I don't know.
What defines Detroit techno as opposed to like Alabama techno?
Because Detroit techno's got a mixture of a lot of different things. Italo disco, new wave. They name check.
There's a microphone running in the background where you can hear somebody steal a Chrysler in real time as it plays.
A burning Chrysler LeBaron.
Yeah.
At some points. Justin likes it because it reminds him of home, and I like it because it lends credibility to my bullshit life, and I think that perhaps because my entire life revolves around impressing women, not really, but some sort of, right?
But it's also like a weird intersection of like Euro culture in Detroit, which makes no sense whatsoever.
Right. It was. I mean, the originators of Detroit techno, like Channel One, for instance, were like heavily influenced by Kraftwerk, but they were also like really influenced by soul music, but they were also like really ghetto dudes.
Yeah, real ghetto. And, real ghetto dudes into Kraftwerk.
Yeah, like people really like that, weird. Like guys from Chicago, like Frankie Knuckles and stuff like that. You know, and I started listening to it as a joke, which is the reason I started listening to a lot of things. And all of a sudden, I just find myself listening to it all the time. And I'm like, I'm like new through my techno phase at age 35. I just need a pair of goggles on my head. I'll be perfect.
Like a rooftop rave at Hotel Yorba.
Exactly. We should have a rooftop rave, Andrew. We should throw it. An Overnight Drive release party. When we'll release something and we'll have a party with DJs and it'll be amazing because nobody does that ever.
Yeah.
Everybody on my fucking Facebook fucking page, on my Facebook, stop inviting me to your fucking raves. I don't care.
Yo, stop inviting me to shit, period. I'm not going to your bullshit on Facebook.
Couldn't care less. Couldn't give a fuck. If you invite me to your fucking show, I'm not going.
Yeah, as a point. I will not go simply to spite you.
I'll fucking throw a Carlo Rossi jug full of gas in that fucking building. Fuck you. Rossi,
I'll hang out at the Stewart's across the street.
Yeah, Valentine's.
And I'll have like a gross like steamed hot dog and like a Welch's grape juice.
And I'll have a way better
but I won't
time.
go to your show. Yeah, and I won't pay for it. Actually, I'll go to your show and I'll not pay for it. That's what I'll do.
Oh, hey, that's frowned upon now. You have to pay.
I know.
You gotta pay, man. You gotta pay.
What I love is I haven't worked at the bar I used to work at in Albany. I haven't worked at Valentine's in almost 5 years at this point. I still walk in there like I own the joint.
That's true, boy. Hey, we have Andrew. Andrew was like the mayor of that place for a while. We're talking about shit that really nobody knows about.
Yeah, I noticed. We've started with, between reviews and messages we've been getting, we have, it seems like we've started to break out of having just kind of pale pasty, maybe a little overweight hardcore nerds listening to us, which was, our core audience since the start. God bless. But it seems like we're actually moving out of that a little bit. Like, I've started to have, like, regular 9-to-5ers and whatnot start to send us messages.
That's
great. Really cool.
That's
so
awesome.
I'm gonna try stop talking about, like, fucking, like, Under Oath and Hatebreed as much. I'll try.
Well, Andrew, speaking of, you played 3 shows this past week. You played 3 shows this past week, and tell me, friend, Andrew, how were the shows?
It was all right.
Can you explain
the Brooklyn show
to me why your initial reaction was, eh?
All right, here's the deal. The Brooklyn show was at a space that people live in. It's like if you haven't been in one of these spaces, I'm going to be hard pressed to explain to you how it works. But it's like a very big apartment that instead of a living room, there's a show space. If this kind of living appeals to you, I think you have brain damage. But I mean, it takes all kinds.
I was going to say, sounds awesome. Sign me up.
Yeah. So there's, I'd imagine probably 10 people live there.
It's like the kind of place, kind of spot where it's like 7:30 on a Sunday morning and somebody's playing bass.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like bass through a phaser. Like, what are you doing? I bought a phaser.
Okay,
it's 7 in the morning. I know I bought a phaser
tonight, man. Okay. Ooh, you're into sludge now. That's good. Cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
So, but I mean, I only met one guy who was doing sound. I don't know if he even lived there. He was a nice enough guy. Everything was cool.
Yeah.
But there were so many people. Like, this place was huge, and it was still like a sardine can.
Wow, that speaks well for the band, though.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't want to. I would rather have less people show up and be able to breathe, because when we got there, since it's a house, it's not like a club. There were people smoking indoors.
Oh, good.
As a public service announcement, if you smoke indoors in like a common, not even a common space, but in what is in essence a public space at that point. Not to mince words, but you're a low piece of shit. I mean, sorry, I don't know how to cushion that blow, but you are an absolute low piece of shit.
Unequivocally.
You're like a cave person. That's not a human thing to do. That's an actual subhuman thing to do, is to smoke indoors when there are 300 or 400 strangers around.
Although, strangely enough, in Europe, I'll let someone live on that shit, because that's like more of a cultural
Europe, it's a cultural thing. I still want to punch people in the back of the head, but it's a numbers game.
I'm already in a squat with a lice couch and like a blanket with cum stains on it. Like, what's a guy smoking a cigarette next to my head? Like, what? What's that all about? Who cares?
You really let quality of life go in Europe. Like, there's a point where it's just like, all right, well, if I get incurable gonorrhea from these sheets, I get incurable gonorrhea from these sheets because I have to sleep. Because I've been awake for 44 hours and I have to sleep.
But when you're in Brooklyn, I can already smell the smoke. I can already feel your bag is inside and your fucking clothes.
Yeah, and it's fucking raining
like
outside,
now,
so I can't even stand outside. I have to stand in this smoky room, just like being uncomfortable and damp and cold and just like. Like, why can't you just be cool, man? Why can't you just create
a nice spot?
Like, these places are all about positive atmosphere. Let me breathe in your atmosphere.
Like waking up in boxer briefs. And like walking around smoking, like somewhere in Europe, like in some stranger's apartment.
That's true. In Lyon, France, Sean Duty waking up and wearing boxer briefs, and that's it. Standing on a balcony, looking down over the Rue, and smoking a fucking cigarette, and looking very much, very writerly for a moment.
You'd think he would have learned his lesson a couple years ago. Probably at this point, probably almost 10 years ago.
Oh yeah.
There was, it was probably like, for some reason. Because I lived in a house not unlike the place I'm describing in my youth. There's always people in and out, and I guess probably like 6 in the morning, everyone's still up for some reason. Sean Duty walks out on my front porch, which is just, first floor, 2-family house. Walks out on my front porch in just his underwear, and of course the fucking jokesters behind him slam the door and lock it, and the mailbox flap opens up, and someone goes, "You're not coming in until the boxers come through the mailbox."
Oh my god! You caught him out
Sean
naked
Duty
on the
had I don't know know if he
was that the same house where you walked out into the living room and everyone was sitting around shirtless listening to In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida?
I think it was the same day. Because I remember waking up at like 7 in the morning to go to work and walking out, and there's just 4 people in my living room, no one wearing shirts, In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida walking playing. But the part that really bugged me out was they looked at me like I was seriously interrupting something. Like, oh, hey, man, what are you doing up?
You're interrupting our seance.
What the fuck are you guys doing? Like, what is going on here? But I don't know if Sean Duty walked around to the back of the house, because he probably could have gotten in through my I had a glass door that in my bedroom that went out to the outside. But I often wonder how I'd react if I woke up at 6 a.m. and Sean Duty wearing nothing fucking walks into my bedroom from the outdoors. I guess that's a question for the ages.
You need to get Sean Duty in on this, man. Yeah. He texted me.
My idea of heaven is having a search engine where I can just search things like that. Like, what would I have done if Sean Duty walked into my bedroom wearing nothing? Anyway, so yeah, we played the Brooklyn show, and the show was, extremely hot and packed, and everyone's like sardines. And halfway through us playing, my amp starts to make this really obnoxious noise, and I have like 15 pedals because I'm one of those fucking stupid assholes with like a big pedal board.
Shit going on,
I'm such a fucking jerk off. But it's making a lot of noise. And I get down on my knees to, just jostle some plugs, see if I can figure out what's making the noise. And then this little Asian girl sits down next to me. And I'm like, oh, cool. Somebody thinks they're going to help. This is going to be a lot of fun to fucking start slapping someone's hand.
Sound men in that room,
But then I look up and I'm like,
help. I've got my solder.
Hang on, I got it.
I've got my black jeans on. Oh God, I can only imagine the fucking misery.
But I looked up and I'm like, oh, she's not trying to help. She just passed out. Oh, that's all. This girl just fucking passed out, like, essentially on top of me.
Great.
So, any normal person would, maybe, like, gently slap her or, jostle her or something. But I'm a disassociative, sociopath, I guess, because I just stood up and turned to the sound guy and said, you got a girl passed out over here. Like, this is just somebody else's problem. I don't know. As this is going on, people are asking for water, and I'm like, oh, someone's asking for water for her. That's cool. But no, it was just for them. It was just like nobody paying attention to the fact that this girl's dying.
For water?
No, it was actually Pat, looking for water, and we're like, oh, he's getting the water. Oh no, he's getting him water. Never mind.
Oh, that's good. That was Brooklyn. That sounds really good.
That was Brooklyn. And, it was.
So you
that
said
was
that
rough.
you met some people who admired the podcast.
Yeah, every night we played. A lot of people came up. A lot of. Younger white men,
love
our demographic apparently,
it's our demo.
Came up and said they really liked the podcast, which is nice.
That's great.
When we went to Brooklyn next day, Trey of Death Wish, who put out Self-Defense Family Records, had some kind words to say. He said he really identified with you chasing women on the internet. He said he identifies. He even identifies pre-internet.
I knew we had some kinship.
Mm-hmm. He went far back. He went beyond internet to Maximum Rock and Roll Classifieds, which
I've got a story
pretty wild
about fucking answering an ad in the back of the No Scene zine. No Scene zine. Remember that one? And a girl, a short girl, African American girl with a bald head answered, and we hung out in New York City.
Was it Michelle Indegliocello?
It was Michelle Indegliocello, and she.
Is that how you say that? I don't even know how that goes.
Session with John Cougar Mellencamp of their cover of Wild Night, and it was awesome. I'm actually, you can see me in the video for a short amount of time, and it was great. And then I came and everything was cool. And
I came and I got a free Orange Julius. It was awesome.
Cello, on her river terrace.
Then you got in a fight with Sting about recycling.
And I got in a fight with Sting about recycling, and because Sting was there having tantric sex with Michelle Indegliocello from the night before, and she had left to go to the session with me because I'm the fucking man. And I came back and Sting was still there, still having a hard on,
still prone.
We've got this story has really gotten away from us. So continue about your tour story.
Where the fuck was I? Well, I told most of Boston, which is that I was next door to Sports Bar, fucking making the "It's Good" sign with my hands, watching fucking Joe Flacco make a little bit of personal history.
Great.
It was weird to be in a Boston Sports Bar and be rooting for the same team as everyone. That was pretty wild ass. Yeah. Good show. Everyone very pleasant. Yeah. A little girl decided she was going to be a bathroom monitor and made me and our drummer Aussie urinate together, which was weird. But only weird if we make it weird.
Okay.
And then we drove to Burlington to play for I think 14 people.
Yes.
Yeah, that's more your jam. A lot of amp failures, a lot of like a lot of the things that make a bad set even worse. Mm-hmm. And then we got to drive 7.5 hours home overnight.
Perfect.
Yeah, it was a fuck of a weekend.
A good overnight drive.
Not as good as this one. It was actually me and Sean Duty doing the overnight drive.
Okay. So what did you guys talk about?
Some hits from my Spotify list, and he talked about going to grad school.
Oh no!
Not the same flavor.
Don't
not the same.
Sean Duty. I'm out fucking almost 20 grand because of grad school. Look at me. I'm a fucking bum. No, I'm not. I work. You know what? Let's talk about jobs. Let's talk about jobs for a minute. There's a very good chance I am getting a promotion at my job that will ensure that I'll have this job for essentially the rest of my life.
Excellent.
I work in a absolutely nondescript little office in a little office building in Troy, New York. No one would ever know it's there. I work for a state entity that provides grant funding for businesses. I work with 8 executives who make a lot of money, and I don't make a lot of money. I am an executive assistant to 8 executives, and I'm also executive assistant to the regional director of the regional council. It is.
This to me just sounds like you play Snood a lot.
Yeah, no, I don't actually. Games are blocked, so I can't actually play games. But I'm on the internet a shit ton, and it is. I'm not. I realized as I got this job, I realized that I am not a special snowflake. And I am not going to be Edward James Olmos and be a fucking teacher and change lives. I'm not going to cut an album and make $1 million. I'm not going to become a photographer and move to Portland. I'm not going to be a bike messenger. I'm not going to do any of that fucking lackadaisical pie-in-the-sky bullshit. I'm going to get this little menial job, and I'm going to work it to the fucking end. And I'm going to make a little bit of money in this life, and I am perfectly happy. I got air conditioning in the summer, I got heat in the winter, and I'm perfectly happy doing that. And
I was going to say, what you are going to have is that fucking dope cable package.
Yes, I'm going to have that dope.
Like all the NBA channels you don't even watch, all that shit.
Yeah, I'm going to have that dope. In a few years, I'm going to have that dope cable package. I'm going to have a dope apartment. I'm going to buy a used Mercedes and fix it up. I'm going to buy a shitload of awesome records, and I'm going to have so much money that I don't notice when my paycheck drops in my account. Yeah. and you can have your living in Portland and bartending / working at a record store / working at a coffee place while trying to get your portfolio together to become a photographer and everything else. I'm working a boring job and making money. Sorry.
Is that why fucking baristas are so angry? There's a barista around the corner from me. I've got a nice coffee spot right around the corner. I could probably run over there in my underwear and no one would even see me. It's just so fucking close.
It's great.
But the dude who works there hates me. Like, he's pleasant to everyone else, but when I walk through the door, I feel a palpable tension from this fucking, Southern metal idiot.
Well, it's like, I worked at a record store for 10 years, and there's 2 types of people who work in those places. People who work there because they want to, and people who work there because they have to. Because life dealt them some fucking cards, and shit didn't work out the way they wanted it to. I always kept my feet on the ground when I was there. I was like, I actually quit that job with having kind of false horizons because I said, well, if I don't quit this job now, I'm going to work there for the rest of my fucking life. And I'm going to be a fossil. And you're going to find me dead in the toilet upstairs, clutching a fucking Johnny Thunders record when I'm 45 or something.
Seriously, he collapsed in the Oingo Boingo pile.
Yeah. Which is a true story.
What's that?
you'll be the person that has like multiple people who've died in your apartment.
Yeah,
which is a true story.
Which is a true story from one of my
for the record story.
Yeah,
Jesus.
and
more than one person died in the apartment you live in.
Yeah, that's great. And I think it's a situation where I worked with one guy who was really bitter about life, and just didn't understand what's going on, and just seemed really bitter all the time. And I was like, Mr. Hey, buddy, whoa, let's listen to Oingo Boingo. It's gonna be amazing. I can't believe it. And I was like, because I enjoy, I wasn't like a cynic, and I wasn't a bitter fuck, if you can imagine. Another story, I worked at a record store in New York named Kim's. I worked with a guy who used to play drums for Crystal Castles and got kicked out right before they got it big, and probably made a fucking
that's rough.
Probably made like $250,000 between the four of them. But he was the most bitter motherfucker I've ever met in my life.
That makes sense.
And but it's like,
because that's not like you don't make fucking, that's not life money, but that's like new car money. That's like down payment on a decent house money that you missed out on.
If you guys get signed to if Self-Defense Family gets signed to Sub Pop tomorrow, and you guys get a tidy little advance, and you go on a fucking tour, and someone up on high likes you, and they take you on a bigger tour, and you end up making a little bit of paper, I am thrilled for you guys. I don't care about money one bit, because I never had a fucking scrap of it. Honestly, that's not like...
I wouldn't hold my breath on that.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, like, if that... Because, I've never known what it's like to have, like, real money. So I can't, like, oh my God, like, I gotta, I painted houses like a motherfucker one summer, and I made, like, 10 grand. And that was, like, a shitload of money in my account. And ever since then, I haven't had anything close to that. And, okay, I mean, and this isn't like a blue-collar thing, whatever, follow your dream, but I'm just saying, like, I would never be like that bitter fucking dude, because that's a shit that already happened. That's like me getting mad now about the fact that it snowed 2 weeks ago. It's like you can't do shit about it, and it's already gone. I can't hold on to it.
I know a lot of really I work with many millionaires.
Yeah.
I interact with millionaires several times a day. Billionaires,
me
fucking
too.
whatever, like heads of state.
Yeah.
Some of these dudes are fucking miserable.
Right.
Like, if any interest I had in, like, having, like, a fuck ton of money or, like, a fucking nice car or something is absolutely extinguished.
Nah.
When I go to these people's houses, when I go to, like, the penthouse in fucking Trump Tower to, like, spec shit out and whatnot,
Yep.
It really just underlines the fact that I want so fucking little out of life. It's kind of criminal.
I work with the same thing. I deal with leaders of business who have made their millions, literally millions. Captains of industry. Who've made their fucking zillions on their own back, and they sit in the meetings I sit in on, and they are uniformly not only miserable but socially awkward, nervous, and have Blackberries that literally ping every 30 seconds with emails.
Yeah, sounds like an awesome life.
Cool trade-off. So I have a shitload of money I can't actually spend, and if I quit everything, it'll go away because it's all tied together. So I'm essentially just kind of like floating on a cloud of money like Scrooge McDuck, but I can't actually spend any of it. But I'm not fun.
Sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah, but I'm not like fun or cool or like weird like Scrooge McDuck was. I'm just some fucking motherfucker with I'm just some motherfucker in a Jose Banks.
He was pretty cool.
He was pretty cool. It's true. I'm just some motherfucker in like a Jose Banks suit with glasses, and like I have no hair left. Like, who cares, man? And I mean, if people get sad that I said all that shit about being a barista and taking pictures and shit, that's cool. But those are called interests. They're not your fucking career. They're interests.
They might be your career. I mean, someone gets paid to take photographs.
That's
I mean,
true.
there's, give it a shot.
Yeah, I'm not like a career-oriented guy, I guess. I don't know. Justin and I are on that fucking find a shitty job and work it tip. I'm into that, man. If the state government wants to give me money, that's cool.
I'm glad my taxes are going to fund this. This is exciting.
I work sometimes, man.
Actually, every goddamn year I owe the state like $1,000. So fuck it, man, go for it.
You can just give me the fucking dime.
Yeah, why don't I'll just fucking cut you a check. The state can fucking get off my dick. We're all good to go.
Give me a check for one dime, $1,000. We'll make it even. All right. Shit, man. So Burlington was a suckfest. I'm sorry about that, man.
That was all right. Kid who put it on did his best, but band dropped off the last minute. Sunday night, you know how it goes. It was all right.
Yeah, yep. That was a. Remember when we did we ever just keep driving on a show? Did we ever do that?
No, there were one or two where we came close and didn't quite make it.
Yeah, we always had that.
The most obnoxious being that Austin show where we drove for 23 hours and didn't make it by like 45 minutes.
And they wouldn't let us play because we had already missed our time slot.
Oh, and then we got to Austin and our fucking van died immediately when we got to the parking space. That was pretty wild ass.
There's actually a picture in that video that you posted of the tour video of me just laying on the ground. Because I did the entirety of the driving on that.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
that was a fuck of a tour.
That was something else, man. That was something else. I can't wait to tell the episode 10 story because I didn't actually drive for a lot of that, because I was too busy texting my girlfriend in Seattle.
I have to look and see if the voicemails are still on my old phone. I'm praying they are.
I love teasing this because there's some people out there who just really want to hear it.
Yep.
But I'm going to try. I'm going to ask that girl. I don't care at all. I'm going to ask that girl.
Oh, definitely do it.
She'll say no for sure, but I'll ask her, if you want to drop in on this podcast and tell your side of the story, we're going to have a Maury Povich fucking point-counterpoint. We can do that if you'd like. I see. I still have 1,000 stories about internet romance too. I should tell. I should have parlayed that Monte Teo story into my own other depressing internet romance story.
I don't think that Monte Teo's going away.
I think we got next week.
Yeah, we're good to do it.
You know what? The Lance Armstrong whole thing jogged my memory, and I realized that in the 90s, I ordered HGH off the radio.
No shit.
And I took it me and my friend Adam Lewis took it. I remember he gave it to me at Scotty's truck stop in Wilton, New York, and it was like a weird deal. I gave him money and he ordered it off the radio because we listened to the radio when we were delivering pizza. And I started taking it, and it just made me really dizzy and sick all the time. I think it had sawdust in it instead. I don't know, but I remember actually taking HGH. When it was plentiful. I also remember taking ephedra. I was I was ahead of the curve on the sketchy fucking workout stuff.
Yeah, you were really going for it.
Through most of high school and junior high.
Yeah, you were addicted to Justin. Justin, I can see you being addicted to ephedra.
Yeah, I took a lot of ephedra.
I can see that.
Non-drowsy sinus medication, all the time I would take.
What else is there to do in northern Michigan?
Yeah,
honestly. Honestly, as far as life goes, life is a party. I've still yet to experience the touch of a woman.
We're at episode 7. What's up?
I am not. OkCupid has fizzled out for me, unfortunately. Went on an
I can't imagine are there a lot of people on it there? I feel like the pool is shallow.
No, pool has always been shallow. Pool's been shallow since the beginning, but it's really dire. People on OkCupid are there, and everyone on OkCupid, every woman on OkCupid is bisexual.
Yeah, that sounds right.
You steal my material now, dude.
Justin actually mentioned that because Justin is a newly minted OkCupid profile, and a woman. Actually, we are Eskimo brothers on OkCupid because we're currently talking to the same woman.
Could you guys do a dual profile?
We could do a dual profile. I think that might work. We could also do a Eiffel Tower on this girl or a wobbly H. Yeah. So, either way, I have participated in group sex before, and Justin, being a good friend of mine, I'm not afraid to see his cock. No, it's not on my hot. It's not Justin's
Justin very quiet on this across the room.
Justin's drinking scotch right now, but he's also he made the worst face ever when I said that. He's like, no. Justin, don't think I didn't notice you got a haircut, man. Yeah. I think you look good. Looking good. Holy shit. Well, this fucking podcast took a fucking weird turn, man.
Yeah, we just kind of let this one roll. We got, we got 5 minutes left. You want to knock out a couple Tumblr questions and then call it?
My favorite question of the week was, will Andrew and Hans ever play music together again?
What do you think, man?
I think we will certainly play sweet music together again at some point.
My answer for that would be undoubtedly.
The person that's wondering that really needs to rethink their entire life. if they're like, concerned with that.
Wow, Justin Kiss throwing shade on our musical.
Not on you guys, like just in general.
I just spit wine out.
Thanks, man. Holy fuck! I don't know. We should totally. We should do it. You know what I
We've
should
been talking
do?
about it since the episode 10 debacle. I think we have to rely on other people to figure out how and where that would happen, though. We're too far away from each other to make, like, we can't make plans to get you down here for a weekend to sit in a room and talk.
Yeah, no shit.
We have to have somebody else figure that shit out.
You know what I should do? I just thought of this. Much like the droll drummer Bobby Blotzer from the band Rat did when he had a falling out with the rest of the band members, I will reform End of a Year as End of a Year and tour as End of a Year with me being the only actual member, past, present, or future, of the band. How about that? I could really, I could do it, man. No, I'm not.
Oh, man. All right, well, short answer to that is yes, at some point we'll figure that out. We'll do an overnight drive band.
We could. Andrew and I wrote the song Wine Blooms together. And that was.
I should find Wine Blooms. We should play. Maybe we'll start next week's episode with Wine Blooms since I don't know where my MP3 of it is.
We really should. Because that was by far the best song we ever wrote together.
I would agree with that. What was it, like 2 a.m? We fucking knocked that one out.
2 a.m, man. That was right after I played the keyboard on Sarah Hayden.
So that was a magic night.
That was a magic night. We had many magic nights together.
Further down the list, weirdly further down the list, which means that this came in beforehand, was if you start a band, I'd audition to do vocals. So apparently fucking Time Traveler has access to Tumblr.
Well,
good do, Time Traveler.
That's cool. I'm definitely in favor of making a man travel to Albany, New York.
Without a doubt.
to try
come
out
to the Max Trax practice spaces, or better yet, come to the. Do you know where New Music is? It's off of Central Avenue.
Oh, good. Come to the practice spaces, and we'll hammer out some old jams, chum.
We'll just try it out, see what happens.
Yeah, so we'll play Caldor. That'll be amazing.
I got another one. Please devote some time to discussing conspiracy theories.
We
didn't have a chance to do what are people freaking out about this week, but Sandy Hook conspiracy is in full swing right now.
Hook, yeah. Oh, it's a false flag.
Don't get me started on the Sandy Hook stuff.
Justin,
I've read so much Sandy Hook stuff.
Justin, can you give? I'm gonna bow out. I'm gonna grab a soda. Justin, can you? Justin's going to put these headphones on, and you guys are going to talk about conspiracy. Because the people have spoken, motherfucker. And it's time that you guys talk about some fucking conspiracy shit. So here, hold on. Put these fucking headphones on. Talk to Justin. Talk to fucking Andrew.
Yeah, that's already like the bottom of the barrel, like conspiracy theory wise. Is the Sandy Hook people, because they're like,
you gotta walk me through.
Is
this like just fucking like old white men who say this is a fucking gun conspiracy? Is this their jam?
No, it's like sucked in like baseball players are like tweeting like on Twitter about like Sandy Hook being a total like false flag operation. Like it's gotten way out of control. People are like actually like messaging parents telling them that they're like they're fakes and bad actors and stuff. It's like getting really, really, really weird.
Oh, that sounds so good. No. I purposely didn't click on it because I wanted to get the fucking like the skinny through overnight drive. Now I got to start reading on that.
No, you really should. It's like literally the lowest of the conspiracy theories ever because it like involves like harassing parents whose kids actually died. It's so bad.
This is great because this also, let's boil it down, as me laughing at that parents whose kids just died. It's fucking awful.
No, it's
Jesus,
terrible.
I'm going straight to hell.
No, I clicked on every single link involved with that.
Oh man, the minute we get done with this, I'm starting to read this.
No, it's really, really bad. Like literally some old dude got like tons of like emails about how he's a terrible actor and he like would never cry about his granddaughter's death, and some lady like dressed her younger daughter up in her sister's clothes, and so everyone's like, "Oh, your kid didn't die. Like she has the same dress on." What's
the end game? Like, what's the fucking conspiracy end game on this? I don't understand what the fucking New World Order is trying to prove here.
Yeah. No, they're just fucking with people at this point.
Oh, they're just doing it, doing it to do it.
It's funny, like, yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ, that sounds amazing.
I could listen to you guys talk about that shit
it's really
all fucking day. Honestly.
Next week we're gonna watch Zeitgeist first, and then we're just gonna sit down and really go for it.
Let's do it. Awesome. One more question, if we could.
Yeah, go for it.
Hans, well, this is actually two. I'll answer the easy one first, and then I'll answer the complicated one next.
All right.
Hans, you found the metal goddess who deflowers you on Facebook. How do her magnificent breasts hold up 20 years later? First of all, I keep forgetting then remembering that was 20 years ago.
Oh,
Yeah, don't let that sink in.
Yeah, I've been putting my you know what, you know where for 20 years now.
For 2 decades.
For 2 decades.
2 decades of...
2 decades of disappointed women. 2 decades of having my sweaty, hairy body on top of you or under you most of the time. I mean, let's be real. Me making too much noise, freaking her out. Oh, please be quiet. I have roommates, that kind of stuff.
Why every woman is bi now. I know.
Yeah, why? Yeah, I am the reason why every woman is bi now. It's true.
I'm gonna leave that option closed.
Yeah, it's true. I the girls are prettier than I am. That's for sure. Although I did lose some weight, and I just I've been working out hard. But anyway, let's not talk about my awful life. The woman, I only saw her. Did not add her on Facebook. Only saw her from the head up. I guess. I don't know. Her breasts were amazing when she was 21. They were hard as a rock, firm. I'm sure they're, leathery and awful now. There. I don't know.
Good prediction.
I'm sure they look like shoe leather.
When we get her on the podcast, we'll figure it out.
It is my goal to get all of these women, all 54, on the podcast.
Please, God, can we do this? This sounds like such a all I want to do is achieve goals in life, and that seems like such a
Andrew,
great goal.
If this podcast can if fucking our friends fucking kissing contest can have 119 podcasts, we're gonna dunk on that shit. We're gonna have fucking 500 of these motherfuckers next week. Honestly.
All right, we got a goal now. We got
a goal. I'm gonna actually start contacting these women. I'm gonna be like, look, girl from Seattle who fucked up my life for a little while. I got an interview on the podcast. I'm sorry. Maybe that's why she added me, just so that she can be like, oh, let's feel him out. Was he going to talk about me on the podcast?
The best part of it is I can see you right now, my mind's eye, sitting at your laptop being like, hi, it's Hans. I don't know if you remember me. Anyway, I have this podcast.
That's exactly the way.
Like the best episode.
I don't know if you know what a podcast is, but I have one.
And it's about you and our experience together. Please advise. Please contribute. Perfect.
Jesus Christ.
Perfect. Okay, now the less funny question. Hans, did you ever get into the Hare Krishna hardcore thing? If not, tell us more Earth Crisis stories. Well, you're in luck, because I absolutely did get into the Hare Krishna hardcore thing. One of the first shows I ever saw in my life was Shelter and Leeway at Saratoga Winners in Latham, New York. And I was hooked from then, because they had the dudes in the pink playing the little cymbals and everything. And they had an info table with the message of the Bhagavad and all kinds of other shit. And they're really big into. But weirdly enough, Ray Cappo was wearing a Chicago Bears jersey on stage. He wasn't wearing the
multifaceted individual.
Yeah, he wasn't wearing the fucking. The pajamas, I guess. I don't know. Is that really offensive to say? I don't know. The fucking pink pajamas. I worked for Hare Krishna for
I would say we
years.
both worked for Hare Krishna record label for like 3 years. You think we would know this shit at least like a little bit?
Steve is the least Hare Krishna looking guy ever. I don't know. He looks like a gym teacher. He's a cool guy. He doesn't strike me as a Krishna until I see the little beads, I don't know. Yeah, I did a little. I was actually kind of into it for a little bit. I had a dear friend, Jennifer, one of my best friends from childhood, who was very much into Krishna and has a Shelter tattoo, and got me into Shelter, and I guess that's all I really know about Krishna Core is Shelter.
That was the extent of it. So I think the answer to that question is no, not yes.
No, I guess
what I'm hearing is correct.
I guess you're right. I knew about 108. I mean, I didn't think they were very good. I thought they were just like a metal band that were pretty bad, but. Earth Crisis stories, I've seen them 12 times.
Last time I saw Earth Crisis, they played to 14 people.
Oh, that's good.
And that was like 2 years ago. It was like not that long ago. It was a rough scene.
That was at Bogies, right?
That was at Northern Lights. So the 12 people that were there were really obviously 12 people because that room can fit like 2,000.
That's where we saw Queensryche.
That's where we saw Queensryche. Yeah, it was quality.
Awesome.
All right,
I also went on an OkCupid date last year, and I saw fucking Gogo Bordello there.
Oh, Jesus, that sounds like a fucking nightmare.
Oh, the things we do for love. We go see fucking Gogo Bordello. And,
no, you don't.
No, and eat at fucking California.
You totally don't.
Well, we go to California Pizza Kitchen beforehand, and then we go to Gogo Bordello.
Ah, well, then it's a win-win situation.
That was good. And then I get a hug goodbye and a peace. You know, that's good because I just started people watching like not even halfway through the first song, I saw them and I saw that guy, the singer of Gogo Bordello, in the airport. Sean Duty and I did when we were flying to Europe for our tour with Red Tape Parade. And he smelled like fucking wet milk. So that just shows you, kids. When you're rich, when you make a little bit of money in this life, your hygiene goes out the window.
Yeah, just shower. Just shower. It's not that hard. It takes 2 seconds.
Yeah, take a shower, Gene. All right, for whatever your name is.
All right. Well, on that note.
On that stinky note.
On that stinky note, take a shower. And this is Overnight Drive, episode 7.
7.
Inching our way, getting closer. I can feel it.
Closer to 10, bro. You feel that? Here it comes.
In the same way that they were trying to get Denver or Boulder. I think it was Boulder in the stand. I feel like we're inching closer.
We're inching closer to Calumet City. Was that the name of the city in Red Dawn? No, it wasn't Calumet.
There's Calumet, Michigan. So.
Calumet was Blues Brothers.
I've been to Calumet, Michigan.
Calumet City was also where Clarice Starling met Buffalo Bill, thinking she was meeting somebody else at the house.
Wow.
Actually, no, I'm sorry. No, I fucked up. I think that was where the house that was empty, that the FBI burst into. You know what? I gotta watch that movie again. Motherfucker.
Yeah. We're talking about movies now, man.
We're talking about movies. Right now I was talking about real life.
Thank you all for listening,
Drive.
and thank you for following. Hey, do we have anything to plug, guys? I mean, really.
I got nothing to plug right now. My shows are done for a minute. I think we're playing Philadelphia in like April, but I don't have shit to do until then. So I'm just gonna sit around and watch Silence of the Lambs and get my shit right and get back to you next week.
All right. Well, as always, go to youlooksad.com. YouLookSad.com, now accepting submissions for whatever you'd like to put on there. YouLookSad.com. I am currently in the beginning phases of crafting a piece of art. No, just kidding. I have nothing going on. Justin's a fucking homeowner. That's what he's got going on. And that motherfucker is the coolest motherfucker out there. And he's running this shit. He's got the fucking block on lock and all that.
He's got that good internet, that's for sure.
Yeah.
He's got that good cable package you're going to get when you get that promotion.
Router.
He's got a decent. I can see the router. The router is big right now. He's got a big router. He's got a big fucking TV. Motherfucker's got a broom next to me. He's got a fucking record player. He's got a cat. That cat's terrible. But
yeah, the cat is.
Motherfucker drinks a lot of soda. That's what you need to know about Justin Kiss. He owns a car. He owns his own car.
Owns it outright.
He owns it outright. Shit's paid for.
You're just reading his OkCupid profile right now, though.
I actually ghost wrote his OkCupid profile. I said, I'm the motherfucker around here. Maybe you didn't get the memo, but I'm the motherfucker around here.
No, because I did not say I was into tune yards, like some people did.
Yeah. Oh, I said I was in the tune yards. Yes. Find me. Last week I advocated for everybody.
You're super into tune yards.
Last week, yeah. Okay, Justin. Last week.
I'm lost.
Last week I advocated everybody to find us on Facebook. This week, find us on OkCupid, motherfucker. All right. Don't find Andrew on OkCupid. Andrew has a soul and a heart.
Yeah, if you find me, that's weird.
And Andrew has integrity. I don't have none. And I've ended up my dating life consists of lying on the internet.
Like most people, I don't think you're not weird in that.
But not like my man Monty. I'm smart enough. I mean, that's essentially a very amplified version of like, oh, there's a girl. I'm dating a girl in Canada. You haven't met her. That's it. But anyways, this was Overnight Drive 7. Thank you very much for listening.
What do we got? We got Twitter. We got overnight_drive on Twitter. We got Facebook.com/overnight drive.
Hell yeah.
And, overnightdrive.com. Fucking stupid. Overnightdrive.com is the repository. It's where all our dumb shit that we put on the internet goes. So if you want to be lied to on the internet like you're a reasonable college football player, then overnightdrive.com.
Hey, and ask away. We answer all questions.
Overnightdrive.com/ask. Hit us up. Whatever.
As Judas Priest once said, we take on all comers. Good night, good
right.
morning, everybody.
Good night /good morning. Let's do this. Cue the music.
Hear the music.